10 stitchy stitches. Stitchy stitches. Hi everyone, welcome to Knitting Noodles. And in today's video, we are going to learn how to do a new type of stitch. Now we have learned stockinette stitch, we have learned ribbing. So next on our list for simple patterns is moss or seed stitch. It could be called by either name. New stitch. Next fair that I'm doing is in August. I have been procrastinating making this video because I am making a jumper, I'm making a baby toy, and then I'm going to start on a pair of pants as soon as I'm done these. So yeah, I'm really proud of how these are turning out. Sorry, this just kind of turned into a show and tell of what I'm making. But it's too cool and I'm too proud of myself not to show this off. This is my first, pair of clothing, piece of clothing that I've ever made. So this is pretty exciting. For me, at least. Maybe not for you, but for me, it's exciting. And I want to make sure that it's done in time for my son's first birthday so he can wear this. Dropped a few stitches. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Doing great. So let's bring you on down to learn how to do moss or seed stitch. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do for these practice stitches, I like just starting with 10 stitches. So in your preferred cast on method, cast on 10 stitches. You need to review cast on. Up in the corner, I have a video on it. The two basic ones. Now, I like doing a long tail cast on. I've seen it somewhere as a stretchy cast on, but it's called the German long tail. But this is my preferred cast on. I might do a video in the future for it. But if it's too complicated, don't want to do it, just follow along with the simple ones. Back to casting on. 10 stitchy stitches. 10 stitchy stitches. Stitchy stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I can count. 9 and 10. Alright. So what we are going to do is we're going to do moss stitch. Now moss stitch is similar to ribbing in that you alternate knit and purls. You could knit 2, purl 2. We're going to do the simplest, which is just knit 1, purl 1. But the thing is instead of for ribbing, how we could look at it and we knew where to knit and purl, we're going to take that knowledge and we're going to flip it. So you're going to knit the knits and you're going to purl the purls. Or you're going to purl the knits, knit the purls. If that makes any sense. You're going to do the opposite of what you think you should do. So we're going to start off. First row is very simple. Just knit, purl all the way across. Back purls. I'm already messing up. And knit and purl and knit. If you need a review how to purl, there's also a video for that. Up top, need a review for knit. I don't think you'd be here, but if you need a review how to knit, that is also up top. Knit. Purl, and then one more knit and purl. Purly purls. Fantastic. Alright, so now flip it around. I'm just using these double point needles because they're shorter, and my longer needles like to drag on the desk because I'm working. So These are just better for me because they're shorter. So now, you see how that first one looks like it's gonna be a knit, and with an even number of stitches. You actually, for the next row, you know how we started knit, purl, knit, purl? For the next one, we're gonna do purl, knit, purl, knit. So you can kind of see how this looks like a knit. Now, if you were making ribbing, you would knit this stitch, but we're doing moss or seed stitch, so we are reversing it. Knit, that looks like it's gonna be stockinette stitch. You can kind of see the V's, so that's how you know you actually want to purl that and not knit that. And then you knit this one that has a little bump underneath that looks like a purl, and you just continue that across. So if you do get lost, it's easy for a short number of stitches because you could always go back and go, all right, start with purl. So purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. But for a longer piece, if you do get lost, you can tell by the bottom. See, there's a V right underneath there. That means that the last row, that was a knit, which means for seed stitch, you want to purl that one. Purl and knit. All right, and you just continue doing that, alternating back and forth. So on all odd number rows, so 1, 3, 5, etc., you're going to do knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, all the way to the end of the row. And on even number rows, 2, 4, 6, etc., you're going to do purl, knit, all the way to the end of the row. And I will come back after I have 10 rows on here, and I will show you what a square of this would look like. Alright, I ended up doing about 12 rows, and I decided just to cast off in pattern, or in stitch pattern, which means that I knit and purled along the cast off instead of only knit, which I did go over in the stockinette stitch video, if you want to review that. So this is what it looks like. It's little alternating bumps. It looks very cool. Now this is just 1x1 seed or moss stitch. The 2x2 and 3x3 look very different. I don't remember if it's 2x2 or 3x3, but it ends up looking like little hearts. And it's very adorable, and I really like the way that one looks. But yeah, it's the same on both sides, so it is reversible, so whatever you're making, reversible. It has a little bit of stretch, definitely not as much as ribbing, but more so than stockinette stitch. It's more of a decorative stitch. I don't know of that many practical uses for it. It is more for texture, and it looks really nice when combined with other things. So, I hope you learned something today, how to do moss seed stitch, and I will see you all next week in another video. Bye guys!